Hello students, in this video we are going to learn about how to represent a relation by means of a graph. Already we have discussed about how to represent a relation by means of a matrix and how to study the properties of the relation by means of a matrix. Okay, the similar way in this video we are going to discuss about how to represent a relation by means of a graph and also how to discuss the properties of the relation by means of a graph. Okay, so let us get into the topic. Before getting into the graphical representation of a relation, we have to know two definitions which are quite important for this context. Okay, so you are familiar with the context of graph theory and what is a graph, what is the vertices and what is lines, all those things, right? So keeping it in mind, just we shall learn this. Okay, see, we know that a graph is a diagram where you have a set of vertices and you'll have some lines that connect the vertices. Okay, right. So in this graph we have said that a line is unordered pair of vertices. Okay, so if it is uv w x, in this case the line uv and the line vu both are same. It is not going to make any sense if I'm going to change the order of the vertices. Okay, so this is a normal graph, but here we are going to discuss about a directed graph. Okay, where the direction from one vertex to another vertex makes very much sense. Okay, so if I'm giving directions like this, u to v, v to like this, if I'm giving directions like this, in this graph uv is not equal to vu. Okay, in directed graph the order of vertices makes very much sense. Okay, so in directed graphs the edges are ordered pair of vertices, but it is not unordered pairs of vertices. Okay, so that is the main thing that we have to learn here. Okay, right. Why this ordered pair makes sense is that, see, in by means of this diagram only I'm going to represent the relation. Okay, so if I'm drawing an arc from u to v, it means that u is related to v. Okay, if I'm drawing an line from v to u and I'm drawing a arc like this, it means that v is related to u. Okay, so the direction makes the sense that where the relation goes from and where. Okay, so that is why this direction is very much important. So that is why we are taking the help of directed graph to represent our relation. Okay, so let us get into the definition of directed graph. See, a directed graph or a digraph, it can also be called as a digraph. Okay, consists of a set of vertices. So as usual it has some vertices. Okay, or it is also called as nodes. Okay, together with a set of ordered pairs. Okay, ordered pair of elements of V, which is E, called the edges or arcs. It can either be called as edges or it can be called as arc. Okay, so the vertex A is called the initial vertex. So if I'm drawing a line from like this, okay, A to B, if I'm drawing like this, okay, then in this case A is called initial vertex. So the direction is important. In that direction, if A is initial vertex and B is called the terminal vertex of my edge or an arc. Okay, so if I have to this edge, okay, if let this element be A1, okay, let this vertex be A1. See, if I'm drawing a loop, you're also familiar with the concept of loop, right? So if I'm drawing a loop like this, it means that A1 comma A1 is an edge. Okay, A1 comma A1 is an edge here. Okay, so that is called as a loop. Okay, so loop is allowed here. Multiple lines are also allowed here. You can have two vertices and see, it can go like this and it can go like this. Okay, so this line is from A to B and this line is from B to A. Multiple lines are also allowed here. Okay, so this is the general representation of a diagram. So with the help of this diagram we are going to represent our relation. Okay, so representation. See, and another important way of representing a relation in pictorial representation is pictorial representation. Okay, each element of the set A. See, for example, if you are defining a relation AR from the set A, okay, from the set A to the set A, okay, and one more thing is here you can have only one set on it. Okay, you cannot define a set relation from A to B. Okay, so only when your sets are identical, in that case only we can have a graphical representation. Okay, so matrix representation and graphical representation of relation has its own limitations. Okay, has its own limitations, right? So for discussing the properties of relation in matrix, the matrix should be a square matrix, so that is very much important. And for discussing the properties of or to even represent the relation by means of a graph, it should be defined on one particular set onto itself. Okay, it cannot have two different sets. So that is very much important. Okay, the set is represented by a point. Okay, so what we have, if R is a relation defined on a set from A to A, and if A is having elements like A1, A2 up to etc. AN, in that case each of this element is considered as the vertices of the graph. Okay, each of the element is considered as the vertices of the graph, and each ordered pair in the relation R is represented using an arc with its direction indicated by an arrow. Okay, so if for example, let this be A1, A2, A3 and A4. Okay, if A1 comma A2 is a part of relation, then I'll draw arc like this. If A2 comma A1 is also a part of my relation, then I'll draw an arc like this. Okay, so this way you can represent your relation by means of the graph. Okay, so this representation of relation on a finite set is a directed graph or a digraph. Okay, only by means of directed graph or digraph we can represent it. Okay, so this is the theory part of digraphs or the representation of relation by means of a graph. Now we shall get into the problematic approach of it. Okay, okay, see here. So what they have asked, draw the diagrammated graph that represents the relation you are given a relation. Okay, so first we have to mark the vertices, right? See, A, B, C, D is there, and apart from D we don't have any other elements. So it means that we shall take 4 vertices, A, B, okay, let this be A, let this be B, let this be C, and let this be D. Anyway, you can order your vertices. Okay, the graph is important, right? So here see, there is an element A comma A, which means that A is related to itself, so I'm drawing an arc. Okay, there is an edge from A to A itself. Next, A comma B belongs to R. So A to B I have to draw. Since it goes from A to B, the direction should be this way. Only if B comma A is an element of R, I have to draw an arc from B to A, and the direction should be in this way. Okay, right. Next, see, B comma C is an element. B to C. Okay, B to C I have drawn an arc. Okay, drawn an arc. See here, C comma B is also an element. So C comma B, and it goes from C to D. Okay, C comma D is also an element. So let me go from C to D. Okay, C to D, this way. Okay, then D comma A is also an element. D comma A, D comma A. Okay, so it goes from D to A. So direction should be this way. And D comma B is also an element. So D to B, D to B. Okay, so this way I have to draw. Okay, so this is actually the same graph only, but I have ordered, change in the order. C and D place change irukkaranala, this is coming in this way. So nothing wrong with that. Okay, so nothing wrong with that. So this is the directed graph of this particular relation R. Okay, so I hope you are able to understand this. Okay, now, so just when you are given a relation, you can just directly draw a graph. Okay, the next thing we have to discuss is, with the help of the graph, we can also study the properties of relation, like whether it is reflexive, whether it is symmetric, if it is antisymmetric, or it is transitive. All these things can be discussed or can be known even from the graph itself. Okay, see, for example, let us have this particular graph. Okay, for example, let us have this particular graph. When you will say a relation should be reflexive, all the elements should be related to itself, which means that there must be an arc from A to A itself, there must be an arc from B to B itself, only then B is related to B, right? B is related to B. There must be an arc from C to C itself and D to D itself. Okay, so only then all the elements are related to itself, only then reflexive will be satisfied. it will be irreflexive. When it will be irreflexive, there should not be any loop in any vertex. Okay, in any vertex there should not be loop, right? In that case it will be irreflexive. Okay, see, symmetric. Okay, when you say symmetric, whenever A is related to B, your B should also be related to B. Okay, whenever your A is related to B, your B should also be related to A. See, here C is related to D, but the element D is not related to C, right? There is no arc from D to C, right? Which means that this relation is not symmetric. Okay, so when you have this, when you have this, when you have this, okay, so for all the pair of vertices, there should be two lines, okay, which are opposite in direction. Only then you can call your relationship be symmetric. Okay, whenever there is an arc from A to B, there should be an arc from B to A, and it should be true for all pair of vertices. Only then you can say that as a symmetric one. Okay, right. So coming to antisymmetric. So coming to antisymmetric, there should not be edges like this. Okay, there should not be edges like this. Okay, if these edges comes, then in that case it will not be antisymmetric. Okay, right. So that is for antisymmetric. And for transitivity, see, let me have A, B, C. What is transitivity actually? If A comma B, B comma C belongs to R, then A comma C belongs to R. So this is transitivity. See, appa paru, when A comma B belongs to R, B comma C belongs to R, then it implies A comma C belongs to R. Okay, see the triangle form. There is a triangle. There is a triangle where these two are in one direction and this is in the connectivity direction. From the starting point to the ending point, there is a connection, right? If this triangle is part of this, then in that case, it will be transitive. Okay, this way transitive. So whenever you have this loop, right? Whenever you have this loop, then in that case, there should be a connection like this. Okay, only then you can say that your relation is a transitive relation. Okay, so this is how we have defined the relations, the properties of relation by means of a graph. Let us get into the problem part of it. See, okay, so this is list the ordered pairs in the relation represented by the digraph. Just they have given a digraph and they are asking you to list the relations. Okay, so which means that R is equal to, there is an arc from A to A, so A comma A is an element. There is A to B, B to A, so A to B, B to A, and from C to B, B to C, so B C C A to C, C to A, so A C C A, and there is an arc from D to D, so it is D D. Okay, so that way you can define your elements of your relation. Okay, so this way you can do that. So here is our thing. The directed graph representing a relation can be used to determine the properties of the relation, right? So reflexive if there is a loop at every vertex. Symmetric if for every edge between distinct vertices in its digraph there is an edge in the opposite direction, right? So antisymmetric if there are never two edges in opposite direction. So there should not be two edges crossing in opposite direction. So transitivity, right? Transitivity if whenever there is an edge from A to X, I'm sorry, a vertex from X to A, sorry, X to Y. Here I have missed out the thing. Okay, from X to Y and a vertex. Oh, correct. I'm sorry, got confused, right? So whenever there is a edge from a vertex X to a vertex Y, okay, whenever there is an edge from a vertex X to a vertex Y and an edge from the vertex Y to vertex Z, okay, vertex Y to vertex Z, there is an edge from X to Z, right? So that is what I told you earlier, right? So completing a triangle where each edge is directed edge with a correct direction. So the direction is very much important. If this condition is satisfied, then the graph will be a, what is it? The graph will represent a transitive relation, okay? Right. If all the three conditions holds, then in that case, the graph will be a symmetric relation, okay? So let us get into the problem. Okay, so determine whether the relation represented by the digraphs are reflexive, irreflexive, symmetric, antisymmetric, and transitive, also and so on, so on. Okay, so this is the first graph. Okay, See, this is the first graph. See, let us first check for reflexive. Okay, so if it is reflexive, in A there should be a loop, in B there should be a loop, in C there should be a loop. So in all the three vertices you don't have loop at all. So it is not reflexive. Since there is no loop in any vertex, it is irreflexive. So irreflexive condition is satisfied. Okay, irreflexive condition is satisfied. So that I can say that to be irreflexive. Okay, now next coming to symmetric. Okay, symmetric. So for all the pair of vertices, you should have crossing edges. Okay, inge mattum crossing edge irukku. So AB is a part of your relation, but BA is not a part of your relation, which means that it is not symmetric. So for antisymmetric, there should not be crossing edge, but we have a crossing edge here, so which represents that it is not antisymmetric. Now we shall discuss for transitive. So transitive, let's see AB BC. Okay, AB BC belongs to R, and in this way AC belongs to R. Okay, AC belongs to R. So one condition is satisfied. Is there any other thing like that? See here, AC, right? AC and CB. Okay, CB belongs to R, but AB does not belong to R, right? See, AB then. Oh, AB is also belonging to R, right? AB also belongs to R. Sorry, AB belongs to R. So AC, C, Pona, then in that case AB is belonging to R, right? So two pairs are satisfied. Is there any other option? Is there any other option? BC இங்கே போக முடியாது, CB BA போக முடியாது. So வேற nothing options are there. So whenever you have the pair, it is being present in your relation. So this is actually transitive also. Sorry guys, I forgot to write that. Mark it as transitive. Okay, it is irreflexive and it is transitive. Okay, so when there is a triangle, consider the triangles, you can then easily find out. Okay, consider the triangles, you can easily find out. You can only have two different triangles. See, this is one triangle. Okay, B C A, and the other triangle is this one, right? A B C. The direction here is this way, and the direction here is this way. Okay, so this goes and connectivity is closed, and this goes and the connectivity is closed. So there is two triangles, and you have your transitivity being satisfied. Okay, right. No other transitivity can be discussed here. Okay, fine. Now let us discuss for this particular thing. Okay, let us discuss for this particular thing. Okay, so there is a loop in all the vertices, so which means that it is reflexive, so it cannot be irreflexive. So it is actually not symmetric because there is no crossing edges at all, so it is not symmetric. So since there is no two edges in any of the pair, it is also antisymmetric. Let us check for transitivity. See, AC is an element, okay, and CC is an element, which implies AC is an element, and BC is an element, CC is an element, so BC is an element again. Then BA is an element, AA is an element, BA is an element. Okay, then BA AC. Okay, see, listen, BA AC is an element, which means that BC is an element. Okay, BA AC is an element, which implies BC is an element, which implies that the condition for transitivity is satisfied here. So this relation is transitive. Okay, now let us come here. Let us come here. For this particular relation, there is a loop in all the vertices, so which means that it is reflexive. So whenever you have A to B, there is B to A. Whenever you have D to C, there is C to D. In A and D, you don't have edges at all. So if you don't have an edge, you need not worry about it. Whenever there is an edge, there should be an opposite edge. In that case, only it is called symmetric. So in this case, it becomes a symmetric relation. Okay. Now come to transitivity. See, transitivity, you are going to A to B and B to A. Okay. See, listen. A to B, B to A. Okay, these two are there, which implies a comma a is an element. Okay, which implies a comma a is an element, right? A to B. Again, you have a to a to B, right? So this edge AB is again an element. Okay, AB is an element, right? So this way all the things are satisfied. Just okay. So this case becomes transitivity. Okay. So this is for your homework purpose. Draw the diagram on the relation on a set A equals ABCD given by R is equal to A comma B. A occurs before B. Okay, A occurs before B in the set A. So that is, if A is occurring before B, then there is an edge between AB. So A occurs before C, so there is an edge between AC. But B does not occur before A, so there is no edge from B to A. Okay, so that is how we have defined. So again, draw the diagram of the relation R on the set A equal to 1 to 9 given by the relation R is equal to A comma B, where A and B are co-primes. Okay, this is actually B, right? So that is what we have given. I have drawn the graphs of these two. Okay, I have drawn the graphs of these two. You can try this as a homework. Okay, thank you.